What's up? You're watching Black Queens Uncut or listening to us. Make sure you grab your wine, vape, wherever you need to relax so we can sit down and have this queen chat. Today we have one of my favorite people is Spicy Marie. And we will be having a dating segment for all of us Black women out there who need tips, professional tips. If you're trying to snag you a good one, okay, because you're single or whatever you need, she's going to give us a little bit, little guidance. We need a little guidance. I'm Monique Loveless. Ladies, go around and introduce yourselves.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Kiki Boom Boom.
Hey guys, what's up? It's TK Trinidad.
And it is I, Spicy Madi.
Yes, and Spicy, I'm so excited to have you. You're a dating marriage expert, right? It's a marriage and dating expert. Okay. We're trying to get married.
Expert magnetic matchmaker.
Yes, a magnetic matchmaker. I like that. Yeah. So us Black queens, we're trying to get some stuff going on. Ladies, let's update Spicy where we're at, just in case
I'm here.
listening. We have fans out there, so whoever's listening, they be like, oh, I'm there too.
I don't know. Should I start?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, I think it's a whole hour for you.
So for y'all who listen, oh my God, Spicy, I already see your face, so don't give me that face. But for y'all who's listening and saw last season or listened to last season, there was a little situationship and it turned completely left. There was a restraining order involved. There was all types of situations involved, and
ma'am,
moms, and it was a lot. It's over now, but it was a lot. So the situationship is no longer, and yeah, I'm, looking for like a relationship. So that's the super short version. If you want the whole version, we'll just do another show about that because it was a whole thing. Okay. Look at Spicy.
The restraining order, can I just get a little bit more details? Was it on you? Was it on him? Like who?
No, it was on him.
Right.
It was on him. As a Canadian and being a very gentle Canadian, I have never experienced such, it was a lot. It was like a death threat. It was a lot. It just means that like I was that good, but I didn't want to be that good. Like maybe that, so it was just, yeah. Okay.
I don't know if anybody can go after that because, honey, let me tell you.
I can
know details.
My life is dry as hell. So season 1, it was dry AF. I was single, and season 2, I'm still single. So here we are.
What you finally did, because
yes.
Oh man, so I hate dating apps. Like I hate them. I just rather meet somebody in real life. Being from the East Coast is just easier to meet guys because guys are a little bit more forward. What I do, like I'll download them and then I delete them, downloaded them, delete them. Mm-hmm. But these two talked me into re-downloading Tinder, and I haven't been on Tinder in like 5 years because it's like gross. I re-downloaded it and I've been kind of talking to people, but of course it's a lot of like, dick pics and all that weird stuff. But I'm about to delete it again. I hate dating apps. So I'm single. I'm very, very single. I was single before and I'm still single.
Right. I'm currently single. I have actually been dating because I had a consult with Miss Spicy Marie, okay, and she was in the back of my head.
And I think you can say right. It's Madi. Madi. Yes. Put some accent on my name. Put some accent on it.
Spicy Madi.
I gotta get
spice on that.
No, spice on it.
A little spice on it.
And I'm still single, but I have been kind of dating. I'm a little over it now, so I did take the apps off. I've been taking some time to myself.
You didn't tell me that part.
Yeah, I did. And I did tell you. I took the apps off. I haven't really been swiping lately, but for the most part, I have a quarantine buddy, and then I've been kind of dating, here and there, a couple of people, but nothing that I feel is real yet. So that's the update with this queen right here.
She's taking notes.
Yes, I'm taking notes.
Oh, she has a pen in her hand. Oh, good Lord.
I'm about to read you, and you.
Drag me.
No, okay. So honestly, I just wanted to start off with asking like what you guys define as dating. Because each person you're saying, I'm not dating. Okay, well, what is your definition of dating then? What is your definition? I need TK. What's your definition?
Well, for me, for dating is with the intent of going into a relationship. So if there's two, like when you meet somebody, I put them into categories. Like, okay, well, this person, they've let me know, or we have the vibe that's like, okay, this is not going to work, or this is good for now, or this has potential. So usually within like the first couple dates, I kind of figure that out. And then I consider dating like we're on our way to getting to know each other into a relationship. Other than that, it's a situationship. It's we just here.
Okay, so I hear your definition. Okay, so and has that always been your definition, or is that just your definition?
No,
now?
that's always been my definition. Like if we're dating,
when you were 20 years old and you were dating, it was
When I was dating at 20, I was dating with the intent of relationship, and those dates became boyfriends.
Okay, but right now you are looking for.
Right now, LA is very, very trying. Right now, LA is.
My relationship goal is
to have a husband and 5 kids in the next 5 years.
Okay, next.
Stop it, Monique.
Nakia.
Yeah, so my definition of dating is just someone you're entertaining, whether that's like you guys going on dates, communicating with each other, hanging out with each other. I do think it's the next step before either a relationship or a situationship, but I think dating is just entertaining someone, and that's something that's not happening for me right now at all.
Okay. And you're not entertaining anyone?
At all.
Okay. So see, that's why I gotta ask different. We got different definition. Okay. What is your relationship goal?
My relationship goal is to in my 20s, I never really wanted a boyfriend, but now I would like a boyfriend. I'm not like TK. TK is like trying to get married and like 10 kids tomorrow. My relationship goal is to either like be with someone. Yeah, I'm trying to like get to know someone and maybe potentially have a boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Monique?
Me,
definition of dating.
My definition of dating is basically like courting, going out, enjoying each other's company, getting to know one another, actually interested in one another more than just one going out like situation. Like y'all are really getting to know each other on, you look like curiosity, like y'all just really want to get to know each other. And taking the time to do it outside of the house, outside of the bedroom, even if it's just picking up a coffee or whatever, that y'all are just getting to like know each other. Yeah.
Okay, so just getting to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
like so to know each other to the point where you want to, you want a long-term relationship or to get into a relationship.
Okay, just getting to know each other could be boyfriend, right? Could be just getting closer. Okay, and what is your relationship goal?
My relationship goal is to get married.
Okay. Right now, your relationship goal right now. Your relationship goal right now is to get married.
Yes, my relationship goal right now is to get married.
Okay. Okay.
Nervous? Do y'all feel nervous?
No, because I know she's gonna tell me I'm right.
I'm excited.
No.
First off, I'm not even giving feedback. We're just gonna have a normal conversation because I have 3 very different women who are in very different stages of their dating process with 3 different definitions. How do men know and understand what the heck women want right now when they could potentially be dating you or you, and all 3 of you guys have different definitions? How many of you guys are communicating with these men what your intentions are? And verbally saying, this is my intention. Okay, so TK, you're telling them your intention. Monique, are you saying your intention?
That's a lie. TK, no,
excuse me?
TK, how do they handle it when you tell them I am looking for a relationship right now with 5 kids? How do they handle it?
I tell everybody that the reason that she's saying it's a lie is because sometimes I told the situationship that he knew that, and then I agreed to something else. So that's why she's saying it's a lie, but he knew what the deal was. Anywho, what happens is when I tell people that, or when I tell men that this is what I want, some of them, like I met one guy, he was older and he already had kids and stuff like that. So at first he's like, yeah, I'm down to have kids. But then it was like, we talked about our 5-year goals and that wasn't his 5-year goal. So then we had a conversation and it's like, okay, well, we're on 2 different paths and we agreed to be friends, which we are. And he's been a great business consultant. So I tell people that from the get-go, like the guys who say, I just want to see, you know, what happens, or I just want to go with the flow. I don't really pay attention to those guys, because those guys you'll be dating or be in a situationship for 5 years. A situationship, then I'm going to choose to have a situationship with a person. You're not going to choose it for me.
Okay. So what I think her point is that while this may be your relationship goal, your behavior doesn't mirror it. So because your behavior doesn't mirror it, therefore he cannot trust you because you do not keep your word in what your intentions are.
So then what should I say, Spicy? I should say, if he doesn't give...
Nakia, wait, we're going to Nakia, you are entertaining people right now with the intent of just potentially having a boyfriend.
I'm not entertaining anyone, but that is like, if I was to date, my goal is to have a boyfriend. Nothing crazy, nothing like I want to marry you tomorrow, but.
What are you doing to help you with your goal?
Honestly, nothing, because I hate dating apps. And I feel like in LA, that's what you need. So I will say they did talk me into getting back on them. So I am starting to get back on them, because I'm like, girl, you can't just, we're in LA, you got to change up the situation. This is not New York. This is not Boston, the 2 places where I grew up. So I'm like, you got to change it a little bit. So I'm on the apps. I'm trying.
Okay. We're going to refer to these apps as appetizers. Okay. Ooh. These appetizers are what warms you up for potentially going deeper and getting to know the person off of the appetizers, which are really applications, but we're going to call them appetizers. They're just little finger foods that are supposed to lead to the main course. You have to change, and I'm going to just tell you this right now. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it because we ain't got time for all that. You have to change your language. Starting off anything with the words I hate automatically shifts the energy in the room and the energy with your date. When you start off any situationship, relationship, entanglement, marriage, when you start off anything, I don't care whether it's healthy or not, when you start off anything with the words that I hate, you automatically are sending that energy to it. You are automatically letting the person know and feel your sentiments. What you started off with sharing with us, with the whole group, is that your thoughts are that you don't like dating online. So guess how you emotionally feel? Like you don't like dating online. And guess how you behave? Like you don't like dating online. And guess what they receive? Like you don't like dating online. And you think that you're this magical, mystical, amazing, phenomenal, incredible queen, and you are, but we can't tell, because when we feel you in this dating process, we feel your hate. Versus you come in with the energy on these appetizers with, I'm excited with who I'm going to meet. I'm looking forward to this experience, because you know what? I'm about to find my king in this process. And because I'm worthy and I know that I exist, therefore he exists. So I may have to kiss 10 frogs to get to my king, but I'm not afraid to do that, because guess what? In this process, I'm going to learn what I like. I'm going to teach him some things. I'm going to help some other women out here with some positive dating experiences by teaching these 10 men that I get through to get to my husband how to date better. So I'm going to prepare them for their wives. And in the process, they're going to help prepare my husband for me. And when I get to door number 11, or after I've kissed 10 frogs and I get to the 11th, now, thank you, Father, I have received this and I have the attitude that I should have, versus this negativity that you are given. And that spreads, okay? I don't care what app you're on, you're spreading that negative energy within the app community.
I love all this. You better drag me, Spicy.
We're just going to start there. We have to learn to fall in love with dating. Yeah. Learn to fall in love with dating. The app is just a tool. It is just a tool that was made by man, but somebody in heaven gave these phenomenal thoughts and ideas and incredible abilities to be able to create this technology. We have to stop hating on technology, because I know that you probably ordered 100 packages on Amazon during quarantine. I know that you are not paying your bills in the stores, still going into AT&T and you're paying your bill in the store. I know you're paying online. We have shifted. And if you don't get in 2020 with the shift, then you are going to fall behind and you're going to be with the shit. Can I cuss?
Ooh. Yes, you can. Yes. And you are yes, you can. Word. And you are absolutely right. And I receive it. I receive it.
Okay. I'm I'm just saying
I
we
receive
can't. We are millennial women. We have to be on top of things. Like we can't say like I'm not. We sound like our mamas right now talking about
Yeah.
I don't want to get on this technology.
Yep.
Like no, that's not where we're at. Like everything else you have adjusted and adapted. This is the one place that you're not adapting, and
Yeah.
and we can see it in your life. I'm sure your career is getting better. I'm sure everything else is like better. But when it comes to your love life, this is the one place that we're being stubborn, and we keep telling ourselves that we're better in person. But are we? Because your attitude is like it's. I don't see. If you were better in person, then you would have a boyfriend right now. So
You're right.
you have to practice.
Spicy.
You have to practice the energy that you're bringing. Period. When
Yeah.
and if you do wind up meeting that person in person, and they get to all of a sudden automatically feel this amazing energy that you're talking about that you do have in person, that's great.
Yeah.
That's a blessing. But don't worry about how they get there. Just get them there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just get them there.
I love
Okay.
you. Better red table
Now we're
talk
on-
me.
Now we're on Monique.
Oh Lord.
Yes, thank you.
So Monique, your definition of dating is just like is a little ambiguous. It's kind of like just getting to know one another. But your intent and you're saying your long-term goal is marriage. You want a relationship to get married. What
Yeah.
are you doing right now to get closer to there?
I got on the apps and started dating.
Okay. But other than that, you are not speaking to the opposite sex on a normal basis.
Not on an everyday basis. I feel like I haven't. I do speak to a lot of guys on the apps, but I feel like there's nothing been intriguing enough for me or interesting enough for me to like move forward.
Okay. So what is intriguing for you? What does it for you? What gets your juices flowing and makes you feel passion and just let's go?
Someone who can engage in conversation, like the go back and forth, like asking each other questions, you really wanting to get to know me being interested in getting to know you.
Okay.
Just a good like back and forth conversation. You can hold a conversation. And somebody who is just ready for the same. Like, you know, when you ask certain questions, you can kind of tell if they're ready to go in that direction or if they're not. If they can just be a friend or if they're ready, you know, for marriage and for family and things like that. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of the gist of it for me.
And Monique, you believe you're ready? I want to hear. I want to hear. Explain to me how I'm ready because, and I know that I'm ready because.
I okay, I have to be real. I'm not really sure if I'm ready for a marriage. I'm ready
Okay.
for like a long-term relationship. I'm ready for that companionship. I'll say that.
Okay. So we'll start there then. I know that I'm ready for companionship because, and then give me the reasons how you know.
I know that I'm ready for companionship because I feel like I'm ready to share that with someone and to have that sharing and loving moments. I feel like I know I'm ready because I don't know, I just have that feeling like when I look at other couples, I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Like just having that sharing experience. If it's like a healthy relationship, which I don't really know because I don't know everybody's relationship, but if it looks healthy on the outside at least, I'll be like, oh, that's so beautiful. Or things happen, or even when I'm giving people advice who are in relationships, I just feel more positive about it. And I just feel like that's, you know, I feel a shift within myself and that I'm just ready to share that with somebody and have that sharing experience.
Okay. So you feel like you're ready because you want to share your life and share moments with someone.
Yes.
That's why you believe that you're ready to be a companion because you want to share moments with someone.
Right. I feel a butt coming.
Okay. I heard you mention you see people in healthy relationships. How many healthy relationships have you been in?
One.
Okay. One healthy relationship.
One.
And describe it to me.
I will say this. It's been one relationship, but I will say that my best friend is like a good, healthy friendship for me. So I feel like that I don't count that as a relationship, but I definitely say my best friend has shown me healthy relationship.
Your best friend is, if you have a healthy relationship with your best friend, that is a relationship.
Yeah.
But I think that you're referring to the fact that you want a romantic relationship, correct?
Right.
Because you already have the best friend covered check.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you want a healthy romantic relationship.
Right.
And I asked you, how many healthy relationships have you been in, referring to romantic? And you said one. Now I want you to describe that healthy romantic relationship to me.
Okay. At the time, I felt it was healthy. It was very caring and loving and gentle. It was patient on his part.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of patience and just being open and communicating with one another, which was kind of like different for me as well. Opening up and stuff like that. So just like good, decent, I'll say decent communication.
Okay.
Just the loving, considerate, gentle factor and patience, and just being able to share with one another. Like, I'm the only child. I don't know if this is because I'm the only child or if I'm a Scorpio. I don't know what it is, but a lot of people at a long period of time get on my nerves. So we could be around each other a long period of time and he wouldn't get on my nerves.
Got it. Okay. So you had a high tolerance for him. Why did you guys break up? He sounds amazing.
Ooh. Why did y'all break up?
Monique.
That was spicy.
He went to prison.
Got you. Okay. So went to prison. Amazing. Now,
I just want to say, spicy. We did not expect any of this. We thought we were just going to talk about overall topics. So that's why all of us are like, we usually talk more on the episodes, but
I love this. I love this.
Right now. I love it though.
Y'all were like, oh, so we're just going to go read our relationship statuses. And I'm like, but we have to be clear with the audience, understanding like we have 3 different women coming from 3 different backgrounds, 3 different experiences, 3 different journeys. And so each journey has to be approached differently. And I understand having a community of, loving queens that fill you up and keep you motivated to dating. But when you have 3 different perspectives, because you have 3 different experiences, 3 different genetic codings, 3 different environments that you guys grew up in, 3 different ideas of what relationships look like, you have to keep things in perspective when you're taking advice from, your homegirls or from your besties or your cousins or even your mom, because everybody has a different experience, and the insight or the input that they want to give into your relationship may not necessarily be what serves you based on what is true to you, based on what you've actually experienced. And Monique just let us know that she's been in a healthy, loving relationship, but they broke up because he went to prison. So my question to you is that okay? Or is that one of your deal breakers? Because that sounds like a deal breaker for a lot of women. That would be a deal breaker, but maybe not for you. So is that okay for you to be with a man who is prison adjacent, prison worthy, prison
so that to me is
having a record?
That's a deal breaker, but he was very honest about it. He was just like, hey, I can't be a man for you in here. So I think that you can find somebody who treats you like I do or better.
Oh my God. So he broke up with you in prison?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. So this one healthy relationship that you have been in, he dumped you while he
spicy
on his way to, I'm gonna just keep it 100. This is what you are referencing as a healthy relationship. And now you are going with this mentality and this experience. And what this is what I'm gonna get to, and what I'm like trying to allude to right now, you guys, is there a self-esteem versus self-worth. And self-esteem is the way that you feel. Self-esteem is the way that you feel about yourself and how you view yourself. Your self-worth is the price that you sell yourself at. Your self-esteem is going to go on multiple journeys, right? Some days you're feeling happy, some days you're feeling low, some days you're feeling like a queen, some days you're feeling like, I don't know, a juggler, or what are the ones that throw the balls that perform? Those are the peasants. No, the ones that is he a juggler?
Jugglers.
Perform for the king.
Yeah, they're jugglers.
Okay. But yeah, so queen or peasant, that's even a fine one. One day you're gonna feel like that, another day you're gonna feel another. But your self-worth kicks in and knocks your self-esteem out and says, boom, regardless of what's happening and regardless of your situation right now, we're not going to sell ourselves less than what we're worth. So our self-worth is important because our self-worth makes sure that our standards stay met. Now, our esteem doesn't always listen, and our esteem stays with people even when they go to jail anyways. So because we're not having a real heart-to-heart conversation with ourselves and like understanding where we're really at when it comes to relationships, for you to go from that relationship, and I'm not saying that you're not worthy of love or worthy of marriage, you absolutely are, but you're not on a daily basis. I haven't heard from any of you guys on a daily basis what you're practicing that not is only helping you achieve your relationship goal, but you guys aren't doing anything consistent, not one thing consistent on a daily basis to achieve what it is that you're saying is the most important decision you will ever make in your life. Your partner, your husband. What are y'all doing on a daily basis? You're not even on the apps consistently, and that's not even hard work. That's literally just you sending a WYD
consistently.
TK is on the app.
TK. See, look, TK's taking it seriously. TK, you are taking it seriously.
I am on the well. That's kind of what that's what, and by far, because I don't have a man, so obviously, but that's what my thing is. Because in LA, for those folks who are not in LA, and it might be harder somewhere else. I'm just speaking in LA, and I've been to like Toronto, Virginia, etc. But in LA, it just seems a little bit harder, and it just seems like especially when you've kind of gotten to a certain point as a woman, like you're no longer 19 years old, and you don't really now you know some stuff. Like you have to be. So I want a man. I want a relationship. I want kids, and I don't want to be that person say, oh, I want all this, but I'm not doing anything towards it. So I am on the app consistently. There are some moments where I'm on more than others, but I am on consistently because you just never know, because that person, that man could be on there that moment too, and you might have missed him. So I am doing that on day, because that's what I want, like ASAP.
Prior to the dating apps, what were you doing before? If the apps didn't exist, what would you be doing right now?
Well, prior to that, like stuff just fell in, like prior to that, the relationships just happened. Like the first one was in college, and like he approached me, he was about church, and that didn't go so well. And then the second one, I was actually canvassing for a beauty pageant, and he happened to be there when I went to that restaurant, and he asked me on a date, and that was my most healthiest relationship. I actually spoke to him the other day. So it's just kind of like those relationships happen very organically. And I was the second one, I was talking to other people, and then we just started dating, and then I just didn't have any interest in the other people, and we were in a relationship. So that's how that happened with me. Then since then it's been dating apps. And I just find it hard too with, I think, this is a question for you, Spicy. With the Me Too movement and everything that else is going on, I feel like men are hesitant now to, like, they don't want to be put in that situation. So now it's like they're being extra cautious where there might have been an opportunity, but they chose not to because, it's like, well, I don't know what she's thinking. So I don't want to take that chance.
So in 2020, men do have to be more careful. I'm sorry. They can't be as adventurous in the normal flirtation cues as they used to be, because one of the normal flirtation cues is touch. So when it comes to flirtation, there's certain things that you can do that the apps don't allow us necessarily to do, such as eye contact, but now you can because there's FaceTime that's been added to the apps. But the eye contact, the smiling, the coming close in your vicinity, proximity of space, okay? And then in addition to proximity of space is touch. So humor and touch. You can still make jokes on the apps. You can still even make jokes on FaceTime. But what you can't do so much is this touch component that it lets the person know, like, I can touch you and you can touch me back. Because usually if someone touches you on the arm, on the elbow, back of the little crevice right here, it gives you a signal like, oh, this person is interested in me. Even hugs, something as gentle as hugs anymore, like we have to be more careful, right? Just because of COVID. So we can't like forget Me Too, like also because of COVID. But men can't be as forward as they used to. Do I think that they're afraid now because of Me Too? I think in professional settings, absolutely. I think in environments where there are opportunities to come up to women, I think that we're now living in a time that it's not that our hunters are afraid to hunt. I think it's more that they don't have to hunt as hard to get their prey.
Right.
And so they're not practicing or exercising their hunting skills. And I'm a huge advocate that in the year 2020, we don't have to wait for the hunter anymore. We too have hunting skills. But a lot of us want to stay in this traditional mindset of the 1950s where we wait for man to come up to us, but yet we want to be equal in the workplace, equal, you know, in the home. We want to share all responsibilities. He needs to cook and clean.
I don't want to share all those responsibilities in the home.
We want everything shared. TK, that's you.
Yeah.
I need a man who helps me do my laundry, or at least springs for the maid. Like every single person has their different ideals of what their relationships look like in 2020. Nobody wants to be the first to experience rejection, though, and putting themselves at risk of that rejection. Neither man nor woman. Men have seen, just like we have, multiple times in their lives, because they're used to being the hunters, they've experienced failure. That's why they have more confidence in it when it comes to the rejection and getting back up. We haven't trained ourselves or perfected that rejection muscle yet, where we have fallen enough and gotten back up to where we can tell a man, I'm not saying holler at him and ask him out on a date. I'm saying speak to him and tell him, hi, you are handsome. Oh my gosh. Thank you for coming to, you know, the park. Oh my God. Or just whatever. I don't know where you guys are going right now, but I'm out during COVID. So I'm in these streets. I'm trying to recruit for my clients. But when it comes to how we approach men, though, we don't have to spit game, but what it is making opportunities and making ourselves available to them and being in their presence, letting them feel our energy by starting conversation. And we have conditioned ourselves to say that only men are the masters of our fate. We are giving all this power to our king, saying, okay, when you guys choose us, that's when we will decide that we want to be in relationship or be responsive. But we're leaving the decision to men on whom they be in relationship with and on whom who we're in relationship with. And like studies do show that when we take our power, when we actually choose who we want and we approach him, we're going to get someone who's more attractive than we would have. And we also are more likely to be in a relationship. And so we have to practice our hunting skills as well. And I'm not talking about like clobbering him over the head like a caveman. I'm only saying like creating opportunity. And TK, when you mentioned to me that your exes that you had in the past, these relationships, they approached you, you met at a restaurant and you're like, oh, it was organic. Okay, it was organic. You left your home, boo. That wasn't organic.
Spicy. I thought we were homies.
We are, but you stepped outside of your house. You weren't sitting in this little crevice of on your couch, chilling, swiping left and right. You left your home. You made yourself available for human contact, and we're not doing that right now. We're either afraid because of COVID, or some of us weren't doing it prior to COVID, and we're just using COVID as an excuse so that we don't have to do any work. But at the end of the day, if we're not putting any effort on a daily basis, and you guys are trying to be married, so you need to be doing 3 times a day something to help with your relationship goals. Like forget one. If y'all are on this, the end game is marriage, you guys need to be doing something 3 times a day to feed relationship goals. And so because you guys aren't doing anything, I don't believe that you really want marriage, because I know when you really want something. I know you really wanted this podcast. We got a notification. I got a calendar invite. I got an outline. I got a phone call and 5 texts from TK reminding me that we have a podcast today. Y'all won't even do that for the father of your child, though. Y'all won't even do that for the father of your child. I don't believe that you want marriage.
Pause. Here's the thing, though. I am that type of person, and I feel like guys, like, they're well, we'll call him, what was the guy's name? Alabama. There's one guy.
She's right. You let guys be the master of your faith. You do. Like, she's right. She's definitely right.
Well, never mind. I'll forget the story then. All right. Continue, Spicy. I'll just leave that alone. All right.
Spicy, can I ask you a question? So I know for me, I'm an aggressive female. So back on the East Coast, the way I would be, either guys would approach me or I would be the person that would approach a guy. And I think as I got older, I kind of got tired of that. And I was like, I'm tired of like approaching guys. I'm tired of making the first move. And I think I got into this weird thing where I was like, God damn it, I want a guy to approach me. But then I realized that I lived in Los Angeles and that was a thing. And my friends were like, girl, you got to get over that shit. So that is something that I know for me, like, you're right. I don't practice it daily. I am trying to speak more like affirmations. I am trying to speak a little bit more positive, because I was super negative. Like I was like, men are trash, blah, blah, blah. So now I have been more positive. I've been like, God, thank you for another day. I am ready to receive my boyfriend. So I've been trying, but you're absolutely right. I haven't been practicing the daily stuff, but I'm not like on TK level. I'm not trying to get married and have kids.
You just said, rewind, you said, God, thank you very much. I am ready to receive my boyfriend. Is that what you said?
Yes, I'm ready to receive a boo, a man.
Okay. So because we're getting spiritual now, what in the Bible, there's actually a scripture that says something and you shall receive. What is it? Does anybody know what it is? Something and you shall receive.
Isn't it so and you shall receive?
Nope.
No, it's you.
I'm just
giving you shall receive.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, it's giving you shall
It's
receive.
not giving you shall receive. No, it's not. Go, Nikki. I'm gonna let
Matthew
you.
7:7. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Is that one?
Beautiful. Thank you, TK. So that is my favorite scripture in the Bible. I live on a daily basis by that, for my business, for my marriage, for my partnership, for this unborn child that he's about to impregnate me with in the name of Jesus because I'm ovulating. Asking you shall receive, seeking you shall find, knocking the door will be opened. So you just said, thank you, Lord, for I'm receiving this boyfriend, but you aren't asking. And you think that what he's referring to is that you just asking him. He's actually saying, open your mouth. It's one thing to give. You can give yourself affirmations all day long. Give those affirmations to some men. Speak positively into the lives of these men. Give them some affirmations when you see them. Instead of just saying like, thank you, Lord, for my boyfriend. And then a man walks by and you don't say nothing. How you doing? How you doing, handsome? Good to see you. Got blessings on top of blessings on you. Start speaking to men. Give men affirmations. Like, give them that moment of feeling good about themselves, because they will associate that moment of feeling good about themselves with, oh, Nakia, the person who just gave me that affirmation. And I know we're living in an age where it's hard because we feel like we've been taken advantage of by men. We feel like these men, you know, you give them an inch, they take a yard. We feel like, you know, they've broken our hearts and, you know, not everybody's worthy of our love. And the Bible doesn't say that. Actually, people are worthy of our love. Now, you giving your romantic and your deep, you know, heart and desires to them, that is something that has to be earned. But when it comes to, you know, these affirmations that you're doing, it's great. Keep speaking life into yourself, but also do it with them as well, because it's not enough to just ask the Lord. The Lord is looking at you like, I hear you, but what are you going to do about it, honey? Like he's looking for some behavioral changes from you as well. And that's what's called alignment, because we keep saying like, you know, I'm working on self, I'm working on self. Okay, great. Now that you are having mastery of self, how are you going to master someone else? Because it's not enough to just keep speaking these words to yourself. You have to have not just the thoughts, not just the emotions, and not just the beliefs, but the behavior. And when I don't see the behavior behind it, when I ask y'all, what are you doing on a daily basis? When I ask you, okay, well, what are you saying to these men? Well, I'm not talking to men. Okay, well, you know, and I hear that you guys are swiping in, that's great, but we're not leaving our homes. So look, you either you want a man or you don't. Yeah, he's at somebody's he's at Barry's boot camp. He's somewhere outdoors right now, because if he's into fitness like UTK, he's somewhere working out. He's not obeying the COVID rule. He's probably working out with a mask right now.
That part.
So why aren't you out there at the park at whatever that boot camp, G-Train Fitness? Why aren't you out there working out with your mask and running around the block? Because you know dang well he is too, because you want a man who's into fitness like you. So like, what are we doing on our end to put ourselves in environments to meet this person? It's not just like, oh, what was me? It's hard in 2020.
Right.
There are challenges though.
Yeah. Right. I do have two last questions before we wrap up, because this has been a great episode. I have two questions.
It is coming from a place of love though.
I love it.
This has been great though. One, my first question would be, what are 3 things that you can do on a daily basis to kind of get yourself going so that you can get in that direction? And then the second question would be, how do you stand out in a pool of LA women who will, you know, do things that you don't do or seem more ambiguous or whatever they all say? Okay. So those are my 2 last questions.
Those are 2 great questions too. For this last one, when you speak to standing out, are you talking about physically, mentally, spiritually? What are you referring to when you say stands out? Because that's coming from a place of thinking that you need to stand out. So I want to know, I want to answer it specifically to what you have in mind when you talk about standing out.
Well, I guess just looking like making yourself look like that's what you want, like to a guy, because I feel like out here they have so many options that they have a tendency not to put in the work, or as soon as you speak your feelings, they're like gone. They're like, oh, whatever, I don't want to deal with you. So how can you, I guess, how do you make that difference to be like, okay, or find that difference? How do you see a difference in somebody who's going to like not put up with that, but be interested in that? Or however, I think what I'm trying to say mostly is that a lot of guys tend to do that in LA. Either they have so many options that they don't want to hear the whole Philly, oh, my feelings, or this is how I feel, or the communication. They'll just get rid of you in 2.5 seconds. So how do you like overcome that?
That is, so the mastery of that part of what you're saying, emotional intimacy, building emotional intimacy with someone. There's 4 types of intimacy that you can build. It's recreational intimacy. Recreational intimacy is you guys hanging out, having a good time, kicking it, kind of like what Nakia is saying that she's open to. There's emotional intimacy, which is your actual feelings and exchange of shared feelings and vulnerability. There's physical intimacy, which we probably all pretty much mastered how to pop it on a handstand. And and then there's intellectual intimacy, right? Where we're leading with the knowledge that we have to give. We're these brainiacs. Let me share with you what I know. And we vibe and we connect on some intellectual stuff. What you have to learn how to do is guide a man's emotions if you want that emotional intimacy. Most of us don't want to have to do any work. We want him to just come prepackaged, ready to go, making us feel like the queen that we are, making us feel close and bonded to him. But yet we don't know how to make someone bonded to us. So we're asking him to perform some magic tricks that we haven't even trained ourselves to do. And we haven't been in enough healthy relationships to recognize when he's actually doing it, because what we call them are the nice guys. And when they come along and they're too vulnerable to us, then we're like, oh, but he's soft. That's going to be a whole nother episode, a whole nother topic. We're not even going to go down that road.
I'll put that in the notes for next episode. I got that. I got you. I got you.
Don't know how to build emotional intimacy with someone and pull it out of them. A man is not just going to come pre-equipped and trained to do that unless his parents have taught him how to create emotional intimacy, or the previous woman before you taught him how to create emotional intimacy. Because what has happened is our parents didn't give us these tools. So now we learn through our relationship and we're training one another. Well, because we're in a time right now where we are untrained, we don't have the tools, we don't know how do I pull someone's emotions out of them. Now it's the blind leading the blind. And so what you're waiting for, this vulnerability that you're waiting for him to make you experience so that you can feel safe and close with him, to be vulnerable and share with him so that he can not climb over your wall, but find a way to, no, blah, 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 right? Like you have this wall up and you're waiting for someone to make you feel safe. And we ain't got time for all that. Either you can go straight, boom, make every single man feel emotionally close to you and recognize when they are emotionally unavailable because they're incapable of mirroring your emotional behavior. But you have to gauge, okay, I'm gonna give you a crumb. Do you share it back? I'm gonna share with you what the best gift that I ever received as a child was. When I ask you to return to me that emotional exchange of why I loved this thing, this jewelry that my mother gave me, what it means to me and how precious it is and how it makes me feel every single time I put it on. And I ask you, has a parent ever given you a gift that makes you feel loved? Can you exchange back and reciprocate what I just gave you? If you're incapable of even mirroring what I'm asking you, and when I ask you how I feel and you're incapable of expressing or articulate that to you, and when I actually give you the language to be able to do that, can you mirror that back to me? If you cannot, I have to move on to the next person. I don't have time to waste because I'm looking for marriage. And I'm willing to teach you and I'm willing to guide you and show you. But if you can't give it back to me, if you can't reciprocate, when I'm demonstrating it for you and I'm guiding your emotions down this path, I'm being vulnerable first, and you can't reciprocate that with me, you and I are not the same. We're unequally yoked and I don't have time to waste. At the least, let me get someone who can mirror my behavior. You may not have to start, but you have to return. He has to return it back.
Right. That is an amen. And what are 3 things that, if you're looking for a marriage, because I know other queens out there are looking for a long-term relationship or marriage or just
that they could do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So I like that you guys are on dating apps. I'm always going to recommend that. The second thing I'm going to say is ask a man what he thinks of your profile. Like legitimately ask. If you can't afford me, because I redo your whole profile, I actually communicate on your behalf while you're at work. Like I do everything within my matchmaking services when you sign up for the biggest package.
Say the
I do
website
everything
for them,
for you.
Spicy.
You said what?
Say the website for them too.
The Spicy Life. So the spicylife.com, we actually will redo your profile. We will give you the photo shoot. We will take these photos in addition to redoing your profile and your bio and making sure that your bio and your profile actually is capable of attracting the person who you want to attract. Because oftentimes you're not making it for the person who you're trying to attract. You're making it because you think you look cute like this, but that may not be what is attractive to the person who you're trying to attract. So we get into the minds of the person that we are trying to attract, and we actually create your profile for that person so that you receive the attention from the audience that you want to receive the attention from. Then we go in there and we actually teach you how to communicate effectively with this audience. So you guys are looking for intriguing conversations. I would go in and see, well, how intriguing are your conversations? Like, how do you guide his emotions even in the app to get to the FaceTime, to get to the real date? Because if you don't know how to make him enjoy the experience via text and you're calling him a bad communicator, well, good communicators teach you how to communicate. If you're such a great communicator, how are you getting him to be vulnerable and share with you on this?
I need to write that down.
You're learning your audience. So it's all these different things. But when you sign up for the program, you get it all, of course, in addition to the matchmaking. But my point is, the 3 things that you can do on your own without me is redo your profile. Ask some men what they think about it, what photos they find flattering, or what could you use more of. You should actually have a variety of photos. Girl next door, you should have one that shows that you're into health and fitness, because every single man wants to see full body of your body to make sure that they are not getting psyched out when they go to the actual date. Men's biggest fear is that you don't look like your photos in real life. Our biggest fear is that he's going to be a serial killer. Completely different. No, this is true. So it's so completely different peers, right? But let's live up to the expectations. But you also want to have a night out on there, like what you're going to look like when it comes to, dressing up for him and, the hot date, because you want to get him into the imagery, into the visualization of, oh, I can take her in every single different environment and still have a good time. And you give a little t-shirt and sneakers one, so that when you guys go to the arcade, he knows you guys will have a good time as well. But that's just one thing. Redoing your profile is just one. Another thing is something that Nakia mentioned earlier, which is affirmations. I love affirmations, but affirmations don't work if you don't believe them. So you have to get into the process of believing them by carrying out a behavior that supports them. So I want you to actively do something on a daily basis that affirms that affirmation. So if you say, thank you, God, for, like you said, delivering, my boyfriend to me, I know he's coming, then you now need to speak to men. I recommend that every single person, men and women, because men might be tuning in too, you smile at what you are trying to attract. And just because you don't find someone attractive by, society standards, that doesn't mean that you don't smile. I need you smiling at the garbage man. I need you smiling at the mailman. I need you smiling at Amazon delivery.
With mask, how do you make that happen? With
eyes.
Eye contact.
You can do it with your eyes,
man.
And you're still gonna smile, because there's a difference between me looking at you like this and me looking at you like this. You see the difference?
Yeah.
And it's also called waving. So if you do a little like this, it's not so much of the smile. A smile does make someone reciprocate and smile back at you, but more importantly, it's the energy shift. It's the welcome. If you really are in the mindset of, I'm willing, ready, and able and capable of taking on a husband right now, welcome him into your life. Most of us are not welcoming. Most of us are like, skirt, you ain't my type. And so we completely ignore the male species. We have to fall back in love with the male species. That's a whole nother episode. But
I'll put that in the notes. I got you.
But you need to be speaking to and friendly to men on a daily basis and give them those affirmations that Nakia was saying. So you're on the apps. You're also speaking to your target audience, which is men, and you're practicing that skill set. And then you're also holding conversations, or at least engaging with your friends about this topic and letting them know that not only are you single, but you are willing to be set up with their recommendation. If they know a man that knows a man, by all means, let me know. And I want you guys to stop rejecting men who you're not interested in. ask him if he has a friend that he could recommend to you and set him up with one of your friends, because we're not doing enough service for one another. We can be matching for one another, and we're not doing enough of that. If TK goes out with someone and he's not a good fit, tell him why he's not a good fit for you. Keep it 100. Let him know that he's not your type because he maybe isn't as educated, or maybe he's not as sweet, but you have a friend who likes
or has
men,
too many kids,
and you want to set him, or has too many kids, but you know a woman who has kids and she's looking for a man with kids, and you would love to set him up with her. Do her that solid. Like, why aren't we like handing off good ones that we don't want to other people? Just because he's not good for us doesn't mean that he may not be for someone else. We should be actually doing an exchange. Like, great, we didn't have a great conversation with him, but his energy kind of felt like, you know, my friend, you know, Tamika would like him. Or like, ask our homeboys, like, we're not hanging out with enough men even to be in their environment. Ask your homeboys, like, if they have a friend to set up for you. Most of us don't want to put ourselves out there because we don't want people to know that we're single, and we call ourselves desperate if we do that. But if we needed a job, if we needed a position right now, best believe you would be asking one another. When it comes to our careers, you will be vulnerable and say, hey, this is why I'm qualified. This is why I'm, you know, want this. And I've been dying to work at that company. But when it comes to our life partner, we don't tell a peep. We only tell within our safe few homegirls who we can, you know, confide in and who are single also, versus like asking other people and putting it out there. And on a daily basis, let someone know, like, I am ready for love. On a daily basis, tell someone you are ready for love and ready to receive it. If they have any recommendations, you will take it.
Right. Thank you so much.
That was
a great conversation.
One last thing, Monique. I just not a question. I just want people to know, because you know how people are kind of judgmental and stuff like that. Spicy, like, what's your background? Because folks are gonna be like, oh, well, she don't.
Yeah,
people
I was going to ask her.
Yes, I'm mixed. I am Black and Mexican, and I got Yaqui Native American in me too, a little Irish, I think, or is it Scottish? Oh, I think it's Scottish. Anyways, I'm mostly Black and Mexican though. So I'm mixed. I know everyone looks at me like, what is she? So that's fine. I'm used to having to put my cultural identity out there anyways, because I'm also pro interracial dating. So y'all need to also open up and expand your net.
Oh, I do.
That's probably a whole another episode as it is.
I got you on the notes, Spicy.
Right. Our women are the slowest to adapt to dating outside of our race in comparison to every other ethnicity, and our men are the fastest that are adapting and dating outside of their race. So there's it's not equal right now when it comes to how we're moving with the times, y'all. So we do have to start to be more open. And by open, I'm not saying, oh, well, if he comes and he lands on my lap, I'll receive it. No, I'm saying when I said smile at men, I wasn't just talking about Black men. When I said approaching men, I wasn't just talking about Black men. I was talking about every single color of the rainbow across the board. Be open to others.
United Nations. I love them all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Spicy. We so appreciate it. You gave us so many gems. And I really believe that our queens will pick up something from this. So thank you for sitting down and having Queen Chat with us. And Queen, thank you for tuning in. Let me know some of your favorite parts, because she gave some great information.
Yeah,
even
for sure.
through all three of our backgrounds, I feel like someone can still pick up from it as well. So make sure you guys follow us everywhere at Queens Uncut. Also, make sure you listen every Wednesday as we're in season 2, and we will continue to have guests. And Spicy, I hope that you come back. So let us know where we can find you. Let us know everywhere we can find you.
You can always play with my Twitter or stroke my Instagram at Spicy Madi. You can go to my website, spicymadi.com, or go to thespicylife.com and click and subscribe to my newsletter. You can also sign up for my services, my relationship coaching and matchmaking 90-day 5-phase program based on SPICY, self-passion, intimacy, communication, and learning to say yes. And yes, make sure you guys follow me.
Yes, and you can find me everywhere at It's Monique Loveless. And Kiki, TK, let them know where they can find y'all.
Yes. First of all, Spicy, thank you so much. I appreciate everything. Thank you for the gems. I'm listening. I'm taking it all in, and I will definitely be looking at your site. So thank you so much. And you guys can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom.
Hey guys, you can find me on everything at TK Trinidad. Thank you so much, Spicy. I'm gonna sell some more bottles of cocoa butter so I can afford I can get this done by 2020 for sure. But you can follow me on everything at TK Trinidad.
Yes, and Queens, make sure you watch this on YouTube. Make sure you watch this on YouTube. Contact us, DM us, whatever, at Queens Uncut, and also catch up on our last episodes every Wednesday. So make sure y'all catch up, let us know, and let us know what you've learned. Thank you, Queens. Thank you, Spicy.
Bye.
Thank you guys for having me.